Hi guys, subscribe today and I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. 3 to 5 Chelsea videos daily. So guys, let's make some sense of the Barcelona, financial levers. So the backdrop on this is some years ago, due to financial problems within their league, the La Liga. So the FA, the La Liga officials implemented a salary cap. Those of us who live in U.S. Understand the concept of a salary cap and how that not only works, but it's actually helped to sustain clubs in professional sports, and to not only to sustain them, but also increase the value of the teams involved. So La Liga implemented a salary cap, and ultimately I believe their hope is that other leagues will take their lead and follow suit, because in fairness, some kind of controls are needed to be put in place to control the ever escalating value of player contracts. So the ultimate effect, one of the effects of the salary cap was to save clubs such as Barcelona from themselves. And so this led to Barcelona having to trim their wage bill, and ultimately led to the release of the likes of Messi, Griezmann, and Coutinho. Probably some more players might have gone, but at least those are the three that I recall. So what that did was it allowed them to reduce their costs, make them a little more financially viable. If you recall, sometime actually not too long ago, during the January window, Barcelona signed Fernand Torres from City, but they weren't able to register him for the same reason. Ultimately, somehow they were able to. I believe that led to Barca having to send Coutinho out on loan to Aston Villa, and they were able to probably get some other players to reduce their salaries, to defer some salaries. That allowed Barcelona, under the La Liga salary cap, to be able to register Torres. So fast forward to this Summer, Barcelona is in the midst of seemingly every deal. The Rafinha deal, the De Jong deal, the re-signing of their own player, Dembele deal, the striker from Bayern Munich, Lewandowski deal, because Lewandowski wants to go to Barcelona, and who knows what else? Who knows? I mean, they might have an interest in Delete or Koulibaly as well. So I mean, Barcelona right now is in a desperate kind of situation on both fronts, both on the field and off the field. So on the field, Barcelona clearly has slipped down from the higher echelon of what we fans would expect of a club like Barca. Barca is expected. Their fans expect. I'm not a Barca fan. I'm a Chelsea fan. But just as a football fan in general, fans expect that Barca will be at the top and going after the biggest trophies year in, year out. Similarly, like Real, Madrid. So Barca has fallen down. They've fallen down a few, more than a few notches on the ladder. So um, they're somewhat desperate to get back to where they should be. However, in this day and age of a player transfer fees and salaries, they are costs. The costs are high, and to make matters worse, the salary cap in place, which means that they are only allowed to spend 1 million. I think 1 million euros out of every 4 million earned. That's what the salary cap. So it pretty much puts a stranglehold on Barca as a club in terms of which players they can go after. So what they have done is they have had to sort of make their financial um, books look good, and as shady as it seems, we fans from the outside, especially Chelsea fans, we want obviously the Rafinha deal isn't all done yet, but it's about looking like it's 95 to 99% that he's heading towards Barca. We at a point we're hoping that the Rafinha deal will be heading towards Stamford Bridge, but seemingly Barcelona came up with 75 million euro offer a few days ago, and then they're also able to convince Dembele to take a pay cut. They're also still involved, having interest in Lewandowski, and in addition, Frankie, De Jong, they're owing him money. They're owing him 17 million pounds. So as you can see, there's a mess that's going on in terms of from the financial point of view. There's a lot going on, and money hasn't seemed to add up. So Barker sold 10% of their future TV rights over the next 25 years. They sold this 10% for roughly 200 million euros. Okay, and if you extrapolate that amount, then what they're doing is they're valuing their TV rights at 2 billion euros over the next 25 years on an annual basis. That equates roughly 80 million euros per year. So their annual TV rights is worth around 80 million euros to it's just a little more than 80 million euros to Barca, of which they've sold 10% of that, or 8 million euros per year. If you multiply 8 by 25, it brings you up to 200. So they said, you know what, just go on ahead. We just go ahead and cash out that 10%. We're not gonna wait for 25. We might not be here the way things are going. If we don't get all these big players, and we might find ourselves as a mid-table team. So our future TV right deal, the value is gonna go down in the future. So it's best to right now, while the value is still up, let's cash that out and strategically invest that money in players now, so that we can protect the financial value of our future TV right. Okay, now depending on which end of the table that you are, you might say is either a risky move or is a smart move. Again, as Chelsea fans, we want to. Our initial impulse is to criticize Barcelona and say, oh, they are cheating, is a fraud, this, that, and the other. But the reality is, when you sit down and critically look at it, you will realize that what Barcelona has done here is, I won't say that it's a smart move. I'll say it's a necessary move. Like this, Barcelona has to do this, and at the same time they're doing it within the confines of La Liga's salary cap rules. So as long as their powers, the powers that be at Barca, properly spend the money, properly manage the salaries, control the salaries of the players going forward, then this gamble likely will pay off. It will if not anything, it will put Barca back in a position where they can start making meaningful runs in Europe for the Champions League. Okay, so now if you now look at it's because they have estimated their annual TV value at 80 million euros per year, which is roughly $80 million. And on the books, Barca is worth roughly 5 billion euros or $5 billion. In comparison, an NFL team, let's say Dallas, Cowboys, they're worth roughly $6.5 billion dollars. However, the NFL TV deal, which goes into effect this year, it was signed last year. It goes into effect this year. The new TV deal, which goes into effect for the next 11 years, pays each NFL team $300 million per year for the next 11 years. Let me say it again. They get $300 million cash per year for the next 11 years, each NFL team. So now compare that to Barca, that has sold off 10%, and in effect what they've done is they have valued their annual TV deal at $80 million. What you find out that from an accounting consideration, what Barca has done is actually fairly smart, because what they've done is, from my own opinion, they have made a fairly conservative estimate of what their Barca's TV rights are worth over the next 25 years. Assuming Barca gets this right, assuming Barca's bet is right, Barca's TV rights is actually worth a lot more than $80 million a year. So if they sold 10 percent for a amount that's lower than what it was. So let's say in reality, if it was worth 300 million, then in effect what they've sold it is they have sold their TV rights for an amount that is actually cheaper. So it's a win-win. Obviously, the investment group got a good deal. Barca got upfront cash, right? Barca got upfront cash that they can use to increase the real value of their TV rights from 80 million per year to, let's say, 200 million or more, which is where it likely lies. So it's a win-win for everybody, of course, except for us, Chelsea fans. So the way I see it is, this is a win-win deal for Barca. What does this mean for us Chelsea fans? Well, fortunately, it doesn't mean much good news for us, because if my analysis of this is right, then we expect I expect to see Barca doing better on the field over the next 2 to 3 years, and that's definitely going to make them more financially sound as an entity, and and of course that's going to affect the players that the caliber of players that Chelsea is able to go after, because Barca is a strong backer is always going to get the bigger players over Chelsea, and that's just the reality. So guys, I mean, I hope this helps out. Notwithstanding all of this, the the reality is, still there are still good players that any club can get that don't have to be the biggest name or the most expensive players. So Barca is going to be Barca, and there's still going to be room for the Chelseas of the world. So guys, how do you feel about this? Does this make any sense? If so, you can ask your questions in the comments. If I got anything wrong, please correct me. I'm not an expert. Take care. God bless you.